Look at this glass. Is it half full or half empty? That depends on your perspective. Now look at this glass. Most would say it's completely empty, but I say it's full of air. Take a look at the designs of these vehicles. They have streamlined edges, perhaps pointed ends stick up through the air. Otherwise, think of how much speed and energy could be wasted pushing air out of the way. How does this work? Well, you've probably heard of drag. It's the force of air resistance. The drag of an object equals the object's drag coefficient multiplied by half the product of fluid density and velocity squared, all multiplied by the reference area. Now, there's a few things to understand here. There's the fluid density, drag coefficient, reference area, and velocity. Drag is a result of all of these variables working together. If there's an absence of any of these variables, well, drag wouldn't exist. First of all, fluid density can influence drag. For example, the density of pool water is about 992 kilograms per meter cubed. Compare that to air's typical 1 kilogram per meter cubed. Think about how there's more resistance when attempting to walk through water compared to walking through air. Now, what are the drag coefficient and reference area? Reference area is the area that's directly contacting the air. The drag coefficient is a way to quantify an object's interaction with its fluid medium. The more streamlined the object is, the smaller the drag coefficient and reference area. An increase in either increases drag. An increase in velocity also makes for an increase in drag, because more air is contacting the object in any given amount of time. Now, there's something off here. I stated that drag reduces speed, but velocity is necessary for drag. If any of these variables are zero or don't exist in this experiment, drag cannot exist. So how can velocity increase drag, but drag decrease velocity? Does drag have a limit? Well, imagine a skydiver. As they fall, they accelerate, increasing drag. The drag peaks, however, because more drag would lower velocity and then drag itself. Neither the drag or the velocity can increase. This is called terminal velocity. This is actually noticeable when observing a skydiver's velocity. Hopefully, the diver activates a parachute which has a larger reference area, slowing the diver's descent. Overall, our air has quite the substance to it. That's something that must be understood for aerodynamics. Something else that must be understood is that drag isn't inherently bad. Referring back to the parachute, these only work because of air's substance. It all depends on your point of view.